need my stream is updated. Forgot to make sure I hit that button on the stream information page. So there's a non-zero chance that I might have actually screwed this up and it said that I went live with Nocturne. Now I gotta check because now I'm anxious about it. Okay, no. It looks like Okay, I don't have to get into a fist fight with past me. That's good. But, hi everybody. Happy, it's Wednesday, right? Happy Wednesday. I hope the day was restful and or productive for y'all. I would say it is for me. A couple things moving along in the background. A couple other things I need to probably take care of after stream is over. But you know. So yeah, I'm doing okay. Let's just get straight to like Marvel Buster stuff, honestly, because I'm feeling the hype right now. I have this. Okay. 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 Well, let's just leave that alone. Let's just Alright. But yeah, finishing Nocturne was a nice sort of like boost to the wind in my sails. Got a couple other things that are on the docket that I'm gonna have to take care of after stream is over. Sorry. I'm just checking a couple of things that are really at some point. I think we should be set at this particular moment. Okay. All right. That's testing. That's fine. I wanted to keep testing the other dialogue spots. Right. You know what? Actually, let's try something else. Because I was planning on doing like other dialogue testing stuff, but I don't think so. I'm gonna take a look. Static body. Rigid body beneath this. Call this base enemy. Child code. Shape 3D. Action. Okay. Because I could just turn this into a into just an area 3D, but that shenanigans on that front. All this box. Folder. This scene. Have that. Now duplicate this and call it. Okay. So scripts. So what I'm basically doing here is setting up stuff. So we're gonna create a new folder. Call it here. Enemy scripts. Create new script. There it's. Oh. Script base. So, one of the things that y'all are going to get to see me do now that I don't get to do that often is basically I'm building from the ground up sort of the principles about how this thing, about how a certain thing works. So all of our enemy scripts are going to be basically all of, we're just going to control this with like a rigid body 3D. So I guess technically. Yeah, so we're going to do is a rigid body 3D because I think that's about the closest behavior. I don't want to model this, I don't want to script this like a character, I want to move it as if it's a rigid body. So we're going to do region, export it to variables, and region to export category information, X. Get set model. Hey, Stubby. Push box. Oh. I think this. So we have the push box and the hurt box are separate. We want that for a reason. Push box. Well, no, I need to. box, and this is box. Base enemy is here, but it does not apply to the player. Hurt box, however, hurt box itself, however, isn't. Does apply. So the reason why we're doing it separately like this is because basically there are two. This is the underlying philosophy behind this, right? The enemy's push box, in other words, what dictates like where it will like collide with walls and stuff. That push box should not be necessarily the same as the area that you can hit when you are attacking it. So that's why I've split it into two parts here. And the pivot is going to be where we put model or anything like that, so that the pivot is where like the model turns and all that other stuff. So and then of course we need a regular node and call this the state machine.cs. We just throw that right on here. We're gonna do auto start state machine for this, and basically anything else as far as like the actual state machine goes, we'll add it in the children. But basically for the base enemy, we know that every base enemy is going to have a push box, going to have a pivot. We also know they're going to have a hurt box, a health node, and a state machine. Those are all things that we know for like a fact, right? So similarly over here, right? Public. What do I want here? How are you doing, Stubby? Hopefully well. Which box? Hurt box. So public area 3D. Hurt box. Get set. Public area. Get box. Set. Box focus box focus cleanup collection box checkpoints. Okay, hurt box collection shape mode. Given that it's like, yeah, because I sat and I thought about it, and I'm like, basically speaking, checkpoints kind of work already, and I know that from last time. So now it's mostly just a matter of like, just trying to get some enemy stuff set up. Because I sat and I thought about it, like this makes more sense. Here, global. Right. Okay. Okay. Oh, I might be silly. I should go check the test enemy. Yeah, I already did this. I already made an enemy script, and I'm silly, and I didn't remember to check that first. I already did this. I already did this. I already did this, and I forgot about that. I forgot about this. I forgot that I did this already. So I was about to literally do two bits of work for no reason. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm silly because I literally already did this. Literally already did this. So let's go to the script. So this one is going to go in here, first of all. Second of all, I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't need it. Then I just need to go into the actual this one and stop yelling at me. I know what I'm doing. Just let me fix this. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's try this again now. Okay. Grab this one. Okay, actually, wait a minute. Close this one. Don't save. Literally, all I need to do is really just like grab this. Okay, so scenes, entities. This goes to enemies now. Okay. Now I just need to duplicate this and we're going to call it Hopper. But for the test enemy, what I should do also is parent to node 3D. I should do this though, because this will make my life a lot easier in some aspects. So, okay. Call this hitbox. Inhibit hitbox area, hitbox area bars. Okay, I think we've got all that. Now we can duplicate this and say hopper. Okay. So over here in the hopper, post test enemy. This one. Here. All this hopper. Script. So create script. Enemy script hopper. Export. State. That, and we're just going to put enemy script here also. Okay. Now we're going to take this one and place this here. And then we're going to do this here. Now, take machine on this, add child node. Reason why I'm doing this is so that I always so I can always get a hold of the enemy script in any state that I'm in to make my life easier. So that said, in the enemy script. Okay, good. Yeah, that output is already covered. Okay, good. people are sending me people things that I get to look at later on. And so that is why it is called but I have some of the greatest friends in the world. So the reason why I'm going to all this trouble is so that oh, I screwed that up. It should be over here. It should be a float. Okay, that's taken care of. Okay, so that's whatever. Script. There we go. Max health is 0, health goes to that. Okay. So Jason. Okay. So you've got this now. So the enemy script is doing all of that other stuff. Okay. Do public float, punch, damage. Here it's touch damage. So that's yeah. Export this. The damage that this enemy patient. No, I should say this is good. That's more. It's better to find us down. Okay, cool. How you doing, Zen? Hopefully well. On 6, that's fine. Hop, stay hop. Script node. I need to change type. Hey, but also, yeah, I know. Yeah. Alright. This is going to be troublesome. I gotta think about what kind of node I can put this to that will let me get away with this. So that this hold on a second. Time to think of a groovy trick. Okay. I don't think I can do this with 6 body. I'm gonna try. So I can try, but I don't know if it's going to work. Yeah, no. It's getting upset. Okay, I gotta think about this for a second. Technically speaking, I don't really need a script. Like this, which means we need to change the other type. Okay, I'm gonna have to change. Yeah, I can live with that. It's just what it is. Sometimes you can't be too clever. The short answer basically is that I had to basically consider that oh damn, I forgot to turn off the night bot. I have to do that. I knew I have to do something. Dang it. Timers. We don't need the Nocturne timer because we've finished playing Nocturne. I did immediately start my next cycle of SMT Nocturne. Cosmo time. Good to see you, Cosmo. How y'all doing? Yeah, I literally forgot to turn that off. So that's funny. Okay. So timer dot wait. So timer dot wait time is what's this thing called? Oh, it's false. Okay. Actually, wait. This is wrong. This should be in the idle state, because the idle state is where it's going to be doing the timer, and the hopper just kicks it into the air. I have this backwards because I'm silly. So basically speaking, the hopper in Viral Core Busters is an enemy that just jumps back and forth, like an actual grasshopper. And it just now occurred to me, basically, that in practice, really, it has an idle state where it has a timer, and then it has a hopping state where, you know, it then hops. And if I'd been thinking about it, I would have actually done that already. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to rename this to hopper state idle. That's really what this is. And then I need to rename the file to match accordingly, or it's not going to work correctly. Okay, so that's fixed now. So hopper state idle is this. I'm gonna grab this thing, save that. State machine, it will assign itself automatically once we set that up. We want hopper state idle as our starting state. And now over here in the script for hopper state idle, we're gonna do base ready, just in case. So we do base that ready, make sure that if we have anything that's set up Hop timers, new timer, hop timer, wait time 3. That's all good. Okay. Add child hop timer, and then that will handle itself. All right, then hop timer dot time out plus equals this lambda thing, so we can cheat it. Or actually, I don't even need to do that. Change to hops. Just do change to hop state, and then over here we just do state name hopper state hop. No, and that's fine. So basically what happens now is that we'll say that this is just timer for the position stage. Say if should be more careful actually. Want to do if state machine dot current state is this, then we do that. A nice little timer check that basically sets it up so that if we are actually in, if this hopper is currently in, right, like the idle state, and that timer goes off, then we hop, right? Actually, we can even do this. Actually, yeah, this is actually better because then I don't have to like sit here and sanitize that. I can just do, when I say sanitize, I mean clean. I don't have to like do a bunch of like cleanup afterwards. I'm careful about this. So then what I do here is public override on start, base.onStart, and then we do hop timer.start. Whenever we enter the state, it just starts the hopping timer. And then I don't think about it anymore. It's fine. So yeah, I was about to do a whole bunch of other stuff I didn't need to do until I remembered that Godot can just be set up to like do these things. And then all I have to do is just start the hop timer every time I come back to the idle state. It's not that complicated, right? So what we're gonna do now is duplicate. We're gonna call this hopper state hop here. Fine. Over here, we're gonna call this hop now. And on start. So let's do. Yeah, the enemy should also know which way it's facing, I guess. So, public int current facing 1, int previous facing 0. Well, yeah, the enemy should know which way it's facing. That's the thing that we should leave in that state up there. Okay. And then the on start. Okay, so public void public override update state, and then we should say if damn. Okay, so I guess maybe I should do it as a character. Okay, now I should do it as a character. Okay, I get it. Want character. I gotta think about this for a second. Right? I basically need to detect. Okay, I'm gonna do a thing. Know what node is best. Okay, yeah, never mind. I misunderstood something. So this should be a character body 3D for the enemy script. I misunderstood this. So now it's time for me to make some adjustments. Because the enemy script is going to be character body 2D. Yeah, this is better. If enemy script knows that. Okay. Oh. There we go. Now, two things I'm gonna want. So, do export load speed 100. Export load. No, let's do this vector 2. Vector 2 speed xy. Say that by default we want 100. Now we're going to say that script node that. Okay, so then I'm going to want here a way to like actually change the velocity. Okay, I gotta think about some things a little bit because ideally speaking, the thing I'm going to want to be able to do is sort of make this thing go along the way that it should anyway. So the physics process, don't need that. I do need this. I do need this. I do need this. And I do need these. So I would prefer to make sure that all of this is behaving very similarly. So public override physics process. And I know it's yelling at me. That's because I need to go physics integrations. Speed we want. I want these two. Yeah, so export that. You need however call speed. That you just face that or public basic layer is have that here. Okay, that should be marginally less angry. Table box. Okay, don't open that right now. Okay, this should be fine now. Anyway, clear script. The regions are mostly to like help keep the script organized more so than anything else. Okay, so set number of jumps available to player. And hi Vinka, how you doing? Don't need not reset enough jumps, don't need that. You need velocity change. Jumps. Scripts. Functions. Constant. Here. Okay, good. Okay. Hop here. Base on start. We're going to do enemy script of that. Change velocity. Top speed. XY is 1, 0. Anyway. Script. Yeah. So public Current facing. If not current facing, so we can't lock ourselves to the same facing twice. This much better. Okay. Up. Change facing negative. So we have that current facing. Or I should do that on exit actually, that we're not like messing around with it. Okay. Hi Cupido, how you doing? Hopefully well. Okay. So we have that, and that should hopefully work out correctly. Okay. Full hop, stay idle, hop, stay hop. Alright. Just need to actually put this on here. Build this. And we just need to all this other stuff. Very good. Okay, good. Type, you are a character body. So, contrary to the name of the actual that's unfortunate, I guess. Contrary to the unfortunate was something else I was reading on screen. So, and I made an inside thought. Hang on a second. My phone is buzzing. Hold up a second. Literally just heard my phone buzzing. Yeah. That's extremely unfortunate. Yeah, that is all extremely unfortunate and extremely unpleasant. I'm sorry that happened to you. Okay, so a thing that I got distracted by when I was looking at the initial description of what a character body 3D is in Godot. So character body 3D is, functionally speaking, it's meant for any entity that you intend to control via code that needs like complex interactions and stuff. So it says character body, but it makes you think, oh, so only for like player characters, right? No, you can use it for enemies too. Which is not a thing that I was aware of immediately until, I actually went and was like, hey, what's the best type of thing to use for this? And they're like, you should be using a character body. Just use a character body. It makes your life easier. So I'm going to do that over here as well for the test enemies, so that that's taken care of. So that the next time I like make a copy of that, it's all good. We're not going to be floating. We're just going to be grounded for this right now because that's the way this thing is supposed to work. Okay. Hit it. change the mesh instance to a box mesh, then I'm going to put this. So let me see. Skeleton's fine. There's fine. Transform. We're going to reset that, and we're going to just put this in. Here we're going to put it at like 0.5. And the length on the Z is going to be like 3. And this is just the hurt box area to match. Hurt box area should be a box shape. Reset the transform. And then the actual size 3, 5. Push box is going to be pretty much about the same size. It's a box shape, 3, transform, 0.5. So in this case, it happens that the push box, the hit box, and the hurt box are all pretty much exactly the same size for the hopper. This is on purpose, but this is also mostly so that I can like. We're gonna add another child node. We're gonna add another mesh instance. And for this one, all I really need is a sphere mesh. And for this one, radius is 2, height. So radius needs to be half the height. So if the height is 2, the radius is 1. Much better. It's like 5. Literally, I'm just doing this so that I have like a vague idea of where the front of this thing is. The actual model that we will use for this is going to be something different at a later point in time. I just need something that I can like actually see. Yeah, this will do. And I think this is the correct direction. So we're gonna find out. Actually, chat, how's it going? It's going pretty good, Shiny. Just got started. So test enemy at this point that you want. Damn it. I messed up. Test level. Entities. We're going to make child node. Enemies. Now we are going to instantiate hopper into here. And okay, means that I have this. Yeah, this is about right. I just need to now make sure that I gotta set the facing correctly. Title. So here, base not ready. Script node current facing actually. 1. Facing left, up, right, left, up, right. Up the direction is facing, then turn around. Let's start. Okay, I need to make sure that I will figure out how to get it to turn in a minute. That is a little bit less important right now. I was thinking about it for a hot second. I'm like, no. I try to figure out how to make it turn right this second. That is not immediately relevant. So let me just test this thing and make sure that it doesn't like break miserably. Okay, so we almost had it, but it looks like it fell through the floor. which means I forgot at least one thing. So let's see here. Yeah, I forgot it here. So both of you, yours, it's that. Okay, cool. So that should be mostly taken care of. The state machine is set to start in the idle state. Push box. No, this thing I need to make sure that the collisions are set up correctly. Nope. Collision, enemy, glides, ground, wall. So this way it doesn't fall through things. Those are the things I forgot. So, alright, let's run it. Okay, good. So it's at least sitting there and it's not falling anymore. So now we need to figure out why it's not jumping. But it's at least sitting there and it didn't fall. And that's the important part. Only state nodes. Okay. Oh. Killing me, I made a mistake. So, very important thing about the way I set this up. Because I wanted to make sure that, for whatever reason, I need to do other things with the state machine, I need to make sure that these are all on a node called states. Otherwise, this breaks horribly because I did it as a failsafe in case I happen to need, for whatever reason, to put other nodes under the state machine. I'm like, I need a thing for state. I am hot in the end of February, and I'm subscribing a bunch of Final Fantasy 14 pages right now because a lot of them are insufferable doing right now, but I'm doing good. Yeah, of all the times when the crash out, like, I guess now would be, I say this sarcastically, I guess now would be the time, huh? And I assume that it's all dooming about like 7.2 or something, in which case, if a lot of them are dooming about 7.2, I already have my own assumptions about why they are, and I'm too black and I'm too tired for their nonsense right about now. So they can go do that somewhere else. But I'm glad that you are clearing your space. It is indeed doing about 7.2. It always is, because some of these motherfuckers just, let me not get into that, because I'll just be shitty and miserable, and we don't need that energy right now. Enemy script note dot change velocity vector 3.0, just to make sure that like actually stop that when the lad hops, it stops. I'm too black this and that. Yeah, like at this point, people are posting about Final Fantasy 14. Haven't played since Stormblood, and I can see that the water is wet and the sky tables have not turned. Say, yeah, like the short answer is that basically the same thing that we've talked about on this channel previously. The long and short of it for people who like really care is that not every critique of Dawn Trail is racist, but enough of them are that basically speaking, I don't listen to anybody actually talk about Dawn Trail stuff unless they're not white, and that's at a minimum. If you're white and you're complaining about a thing in Dawn Trail, I just generally don't trust your opinion on it. That's just kind of the way that it is. Like, to be completely honest, it's just one of those things where, like, oh, damn it, my soundboard's broke. I have to fix that at some point because you see the image is not displaying correctly. Yikes. I gotta fix that. Anyway, what I'm saying is it's a skill issue. Sounds, I think, still work fine, but I have to fix images. No, like, it doesn't work because it doesn't show up on screen. I have to fix it. I appreciate you trying, but I literally didn't realize. It's probably one of the updates that makes it up. They were trying to explain it, and I didn't realize it. I can probably fix it if I go look at the commands and go into funny flares and go edit the skill issue one. I think that's okay. Oh yeah, it's literally busted because when I did the backup, it when I did the backup, I never updated it when I moved the stuff um, off of High Noon. That's why. It's okay. I've got it figured out. I just need to. Okay. Um, skill issue should work now. It's because I literally forgot to just like update. I forgot to update. I literally just forgot to like update where the images are and stuff, where they're pulling from and all that. So that's my fault. Uh, except that apparently I need to find where I put the Angel Goku one because I don't know where that is now. Uh, oh, there we go. Found that one. All right. But yeah, skill issue should work now. Anyway, the point I'm getting at here is that like uh, basically on principle, I don't trust white people to talk about dumb chill anymore. And yeah, it's just literally that. This is not to say, obviously, that like non white Final Fantasy 14 players can't have whack takes about Don Chill either. But on principle, I generally distrust what white people have to say about it. There are a lot of people going about toxic positivity being a major problem. I find that kind of offensive because, yeah, right. Because people will mistake you saying something like, I don't know, I'm just gonna wait and see what Square Enix does, and they'll take that as you like shilling for Square Enix, and it's like, no, I need you to understand. One, you're being a dipshit. Two, no, me saying I'm going to wait to see what they do doesn't mean that I trust that they're going to necessarily do a good job. It means I'm going to wait and see what they're going to do, and if they fuck it up, then they fuck it up. Um, I'm mostly in the I'm mostly in the general area of I need you all to understand that while I'm not out here caping for Square Enix when I say game development is difficult, and I need some of y'all to stop acting like Square Enix not giving Vieira and Hrothgar hats is because they're lazy. It's because, quite literally, there are any number of reasons why that's not happening, not limited to um, they literally are not being given the time to do that by, the people who signed their checks and shit. Like, this is not nearly as, like, it's not that deep. Obviously I could be wrong about this, but also it's not that deep. And some of y'all are just you're just really, really obnoxious for no other reason other than you think you can get away with it because you think you know something. Is toxic positivity an issue in the Final Fantasy 14 community in some form? Yes, but toxic positivity is not people going down is good, you're being a yeah, it is way too big of a job to do for free or any sport. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like people like, well, yeah, they just really. It's something that there's a Discord that I'm in where people say this sort of thing a lot, and it takes. Some of them are not unreasonable about this, thankfully, but a lot of the time, I'm like, do we have to have the conversation where I say again that like you have to understand that this is not me caping for Square Enix. This is me saying that at least some of this is probably because of the demands, reasonable or unreasonable, of the people who sign the development team's paychecks, which means that they have to basically do, okay, I'm going to try not to be hyperbolic about this because I realize that the comparison I'm about to draw, if I'm not careful about how I draw it, is going to sound extremely out of pocket here. So I'm trying to think about the best way to describe this without getting really over descriptive about something in a way that's not strictly speaking true, because I don't want to do that. Okay, so this is basically the way that I think I want to talk about this. This is the simplest way that I think I want to talk about this in a way that I think makes sense. Um, and if this is over dramatic, let me know. But basically, no worries. Also, game. Oh yeah, you did thank me for the animations. Yeah, thank you. I haven't animated. I haven't animated the enemies themselves yet because it's not super important insofar as getting their movements and stuff down and going. That's the thing I'm more worried about right now. But yeah, game development. I'm gonna explain it like this. Game development is a priorities game. It has always and will always be a priorities game. You have to measure very carefully what you have. Um, game dev is always a priorities game, and this is the thing that a lot of consumers don't understand about game dev, and why it can be very obnoxious sometimes to talk to consumers about game dev and the way that it works. Not because consumers are not quote unquote intelligent enough to, it's nothing like that. The problem is primarily that when you tell somebody, right? Honestly, if I'm going to be really honest about it, any creative endeavor is basically um, every creative endeavor is basically a compromises game. Whenever you are thinking about any kind of creative project, any kind of creative endeavor, you are functionally playing like a, to some degree, you are always playing a compromises game. It is always to a certain degree about what you can get away with in the context of, um, right, where you have to, and I'm not saying cut corners necessarily, but where specifically you either do certain things or you don't do certain things. And it has nothing to do with laziness. So whenever I hear somebody say game devs are lazy, it instinctively activates my fight response, because it's you don't know what you're talking about and I need you to stop. Like game dev is, yeah, it's a compromises game. It always has been and it always will be, where you are making active bets against active bets might be a strong way to phrase it, but basically speaking, with game dev you are always sort of reaching for certain levels of whether or not you can do this thing, right? You always have to sort of put management. It's a gigantic project management game, right? How much is too much in terms of the things that you can actually plan for, the things that you can actually do, right? And where a lot of consumers really and truly do not want to kind of confront the truth of that is that because compromises exist, right? Because you have to actively think about where you can and cannot get away with certain things, they assume that when you prioritize certain things over other things, that you're just being lazy. And it's no, do you want this game or do you not want this game, right? And in Square Enix's case, obviously I don't know their internals well enough to really be able to obviously I don't know Square Enix's internals well enough to be able to say definitively this is the way it works versus this isn't the way that it works, right? Very obviously, if I'm going to be very upfront about that, I obviously cannot confirm that one way or the other, right? But what I can say, at least with what I know from making games is that it is extremely likely, right, that contrary to what a lot of like gamers think that they understand about how this works, it's like I need you all to understand that um, contrary to the way that you want that y'all want this to work, right? Or if I'm going to be so upfront about it, you think it's one way, but it's the other way, right? What I mean by that is when you're doing game development, there will always come a point where, to a certain degree, you are probably going to have to compromise. You're going to have to compromise. It's just what it is, right? And if that is a thing that bothers you as a developer or as somebody who likes to do something, like I don't like compromising. I like to always have the thing done exactly the way that I want. That in an ideal world, that would be wonderful. Unfortunately, like life doesn't work like that. And that's not because of a failing of you as a person or anything like that. It is literally just life is not like that sometimes in game dev. Like if you do not know how to compromise, you create for yourself. Um, you're gonna put yourself in a position where you fail. Like that's just what it is. If you want me to be really upfront about it, if you don't know when and how to compromise, you fail. Right? And there are some people who hear that and get very in their feelings about it, but it's also like factually very true. It's just what it is. If you do not know how to compromise in any creative project, really, there's going to come a point in time where you put yourself in a position where you've run up against limitation and you fail. And it's just what it is. And sometimes, right, like failure is not inherently a bad thing, but the issue that this causes with consumers is that they don't, because they are too focused on not understanding how like the sausage is made and not being understandable about that. Yeah. I unsubscribed from a certain popular Final Fantasy 14 lore creator because he made one too many bad takes. IMO and released a video where he talked about Final Fantasy 14's writing trends that can be better than the writing team themselves. 14 has writing issues that should be critiqued, but let's not. Yeah, like my main thing as far as Final Fantasy 14 is concerned, and the reason why I'm ignoring a lot of people and their specific takes about Dawn Trail is that right now Dawn Trail is basically having to sort of stand as, in a very broad sense, from a storyline perspective. In my opinion, it is sort of standing as the Realm Reborn of Final Fantasy 14 going forward from here. And what I mean by that is the sort of status quo of the world before Dawn Trail is different now. The overarching plot line that has been going on from A Realm Reborn up until basically the end of the main story of Endwalker, that shit's done. And so Dawn Trail itself, right? Dawn Trail itself is in a spot where it has to sort of lay out stuff for a new normal. And what I've seen from a lot of people is that they're too busy thinking about what Final Fantasy 14 used to be beforehand, and they're too busy fetching about the fact that it's not like that anymore for them to realize, like, no, like the shit's different. The world is different now. My main critiques, I think, trying to humanize the Guardians like that and Walker was a mistake. And this is the complicated part, right? Because hear me out here. Actually, no, that's not a good parallel to draw. I was about to draw a parallel and I stopped and I thought about it for a second and I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to go there. I don't know if I want to go there and have that said on stream, not because I don't trust that you and I can have a dialogue about that, but I sat and I thought about it for a second. And I'm like, I might go there anyway, but I got to think about that. Not because not be- not because I don't get where you're coming from, but I think I get what they were aiming for, but I understand why it doesn't sit right with you. Because I get what you're aiming for, and I get why it doesn't sit right with you. But I'm like, I'm sitting here thinking about, I'm like, is this a conversation I want to have on a stream where if somebody felt like it, they could pull it up later, and then this turns into a whole thing. So the abridged version of the thing that I'm going to say is I think I get where they were trying to go with it, but I understand why you say it. And it is mostly because people took where they were trying to go with it and went in a direction that causes issues. And I'm going to leave it at that. That is how I feel personally in terms of that. So I get where you're coming from, and that's where I think I want to pin it more on the player base than on the writer's intentions, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Just so that we don't like get into some shenanigans. I forgot to say as well, but I like the music playing in the game right now. Yeah, a lot of this is filler music that I have borrowed from. Like this is, and I'm gonna be upfront about this. Obviously, this is not staying in any kind of like demo that I actually physically literally put out because I'm not gonna do that. Um, when I'm doing projects, the thing that I do while or up until I get music that is like actually fitting for the mood that I want, I will pick music and keep music in mind that is close to it from other games. But before I put out demos or anything that is like actually playable in somebody's hands past like, oh, this is like available online, I do not, and this is the critical thing, right? Like I don't leave in that filler music because I don't own it. So right now, for example, I picked out music and tracks from like Battle Network and things like that, where I'm like, this works for me and this is the thing that I want. But when I release an actual playable demo of Viral Core Busters, none of that music will be in. Will be in. That's more mood music, so that I'm like, this is these are the aesthetics I'm aiming for sonically. But I swap all of that out before any playable demos go out to like the public. So yeah, like that music, I gotta credit to like Mega Man 8 primarily. Because Mega Man 8 and like Mega Man Battle Network are like the two sort of like sonic influences that I'm really thinking about for Viral Core Busters. So I put them in, so I have them as like reference to chew over. Um, but and also because like the music helps me concentrate on what I'm doing as opposed to it just being like stark dead quiet. But like for the actual like demos and everything, I take out any of that filler music and I replace it with like either stuff I wrote that can stand in as temporary or something that's like actual free use that can be used accordingly. Um, so yeah, I can't take credit for the music. The music is from Mega Man 8. So yeah, Shiny, I'll put the take that I was thinking about. I'm gonna put it in the Gilded. I'll put it in the Gilded so that like that's not like public facing like 5 billion people. But I'm gonna write it down right now before I forget it. Alright. Yeah, I put that thought there. So that's that thought that I just put in the gilded is basically where I land on the whole thing. And I will 100% accept if I wound up out of pocket, I'll hold the L. But that's basically where I land on it. That's basically where I land on it. I had to just drop that right there because I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm gonna forget. Let me see here. The timer. Okay, the hopping works fine. I just need to make sure that like I'll deal with the turning in a minute because turning is a whole other thing I don't want to deal with right now. I just need to make sure this thing hops correctly. Oh right. I should go check this thing. Oh right, that's right. That's happening tonight. We can't go stream there. I can't raid there, which is a shame. But I have a wonderful, wonderful black ass night to go check out later tonight, and I'm already so excited. All right, so let me just fix the. I just gotta fix this thing for the hopper, and then I think we should be nearly okay. Nope, don't want to do that. Just give me these keys. Property, pivot, visible. Chunk that out. Okay, good. That should be fixed. Yeah. Okay. So I think this should have fixed that now. So the only two things I need to do at this point, the hopper is probably going to be, damn it, hold on. I need to go back over to the animation player, make sure that the okay, so property track, pivot, visible, need to make sure that this key is in at true. We come into the reset by default. That's where we start, just to make sure that this thing does not. That we start with this thing visible. There we go. Okay, good. And now the only thing we need to do is fix the hopper being immortal, which is easy because all I really have to do now is come over to the hopper, come to the health node, turn off his immortal. Nice and simple. So now, yeah, now not immortal, which means I cut it. I cut the hopper 3 times, it dies. Easy. But yeah, as far as like the parts about Final Fantasy 14 that I'm not going to relegate to just the gilded, and it's just what I'm thinking of. The thing I was saying beforehand is that like yeah, Dawn Trail has Dawn Trail is basically sort of like trying to establish a new. I need to set up a thing for when the enemy is defeated. I never did that, but I can do that over here. Right? Public virtual void die. If is enemy health. Damn it! Did we not have a reference to the enemy health? Okay, let's see. I was about to say, I know I put one in here, so health node dot is immortal. That's false. And Q. Now we come up to here. Okay, health node that health depleted. Okay, cool. So then at 0, 0. It's 0. Oh. No, wait, no, that should be fixed because I rederived it, so it should be fine. I was like, wait, I messed this up, and then I stopped and I thought about it really hard. I'm like, no, actually, I unmessed it up because I'm a genius. All right. Um, okay. Oh, it looks like for some reason. So I put in a debug message for the enemy to like print out a thing. Box health node. Okay, it's not immortal. real question is, why are we not? Okay, I gotta do something else then. Hold on. Gotta do something else. We're just gonna do this, actually. It will always go to this, but now I'm gonna try this just to see if it works. So the issue that we're having is that, for whatever reason, um, this stuff is not uh, like the function that I have set up to like trigger when the enemy dies isn't working correctly. So um, I think what I'm doing here is that I'm sort of changing the logic I had. Initially, the idea was only assign the event for this enemy to die if the enemy is not immortal. I'm doing it the other way, where it will always assign the event to die, but it only executes if the enemy is immortal. Except that's not working either. So, okay. What what am I not doing here? What is happening here? What is acting up? Because I know for a fact that the hopper, I should check the configuration just to make sure I didn't mess something up, I guess. Okay, max health is that, touch damage is that. Okay, that's all set. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure if I change the max health to like 1 for the hopper, what should happen is I should be able to knock it out in 1 hit. Now, the only problem is that for whatever reason, yeah, okay. So for whatever reason, yeah. So, okay. Public void set immortal bool new value. Immortal new value. Okay, over here, set immortal is false. Well, no. Yeah. Hang on a second. Pause. I'm overthinking this. I need to just do an else to see. Hang on a second. That's be easier to do this. Formatted GD. Okay, I'm just gonna do it the way with string dot format. There are ways to do it natively in Godot, but like there are ways to do it in Godot, and I could. Yeah. So I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just do it the way I've been doing it, which is this. It's it's nastier and longer, but it does the thing that I need to do. Um, which is fine. So the main thing that I'm running into right now. So basically, the main issue I'm running into right now is that for whatever reason, I'm not seeing either. I'm not seeing this message. So basically, this means that for whatever reason, I don't know why, and it chaps my ass, but for whatever reason, um, whatever reason, the health node stuff isn't picking up correctly. But I'm not getting any errors either. Like I'd get a null reference exception over in Godot if okay. Okay. It might be two things I'm doing wrong here. So you know what I'm gonna do actually? We're gonna oh. Oh. So I'm gonna explain what happened here. I just realized it. You see how this is called enemy script hopper, right? And then you see how it says public override void ready, but it's empty, right? This, so this is the script that's actually on the hoppers right now because for whatever reason, right? Maybe there are various things that are like specific to the hopper. So enemy script hopper is what's on here. Ready here, you'll see is blank. The enemy script over here, on the other hand, is not blank. But basically speaking, what's happening is this code isn't running because this is blank, which means that I either delete this part or I just do the thing which makes more sense, which is base dot underscore ready. And I literally forgot about that because my brain is empty sometimes with this sort of thing. The reason why I made a point of um, doing this is so I could do something like this, for example, right? Where I can like configure a couple of things for the hopper hard coded and then go from the, well, I don't even need to do that. I can just do this, I have to rebuild it. Basically, the point is that I made enemy script a basic thing, and then I have, so like, yeah, here, for example, right? There may be a thing where it's like, right, I need to know what the hopper state machine is separate from that, which is why like I have all this other stuff. So theoretically speaking, what I'm saying is that I cheated myself by thinking too hard about this, and I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I put I gave the hopper script, I gave the hopper its own enemy script, and then didn't tell the script, hey, I need you to run all the stuff from your original class. I forgot to do that, and that's why. So because the enemy script hopper ready was blank, but then the regular enemy script one wasn't, the blank one took preference. So I wasn't paying attention. And now that works, right? Like you saw, I swung, guided. So that's fine. This is good. So that works fine now. The only thing I need to do over here is velocity. I need to figure out where I put the turn function. Because I forgot where I did that. Ba, 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 ba. Those are physics. Turn. Okay, I need to remember where I put the code for turning because this makes my life a lot easier. Okay, so over here, and the enemy script, process function, we're going to keep this nice and simple. This is going to be damn it, didn't I make a okay, I forgot about this. Thanks for category physics. Okay. Okay. Export 3D pivot. Model pivot basis. So that should do the same thing in the player script because it's basically really all it is. So, model I know we have an ad break coming up. So right now, that should be fine. Okay, I never said pivot. All right. Okay, Sean. Think about what you're doing for a second. Go to the test enemy. Wilds should be out on Friday. So yeah, very soon. I am planning on picking it up. But yes, Wilds will be out. Wilds will be out on Friday. Okay. So now I just need to make sure that this that the turning happens before you jump down. I should have made it a bit. Yeah. Okay, we're almost done. So the only thing I need to do now is just make sure that so what I said is facing to the right, which means I need to on this thing. Hang on a second. I gotta put the hopper's head on the other side. So this one, mesh instance 3D2, actually, I need you to be over here. Should be fixed now. Yep, good. So that works now. I will, for anybody that was stuck in ad hell, I'll replay it in a second. That's how this to touch damage, so 0.5. Let's knock that down a little bit, so it's not like trying to like 3-hit touch you and you die. Let's not do that. Okay. So that's handled. Enemy script. Current facing is set to 1. Previous facing set to 0. Okay. So that, honestly, oh, it's reversing it from. Okay. So vector 3 back. Current face, so back is that one. Okay. So maybe for the enemy, it should be this one. So instead of back, it should be forward. Let's see. It's forward times current facing should mean that it's actually like So basically, Godot has a thing where, technically speaking, right, if you're trying to move, and this is something that's like I messed up at some point because I didn't realize it. Godot, if you look forward on the z-axis, is to the right, basically, which means that based on the way that I have this set up, actually, then this means I should put the hopper's head over here. So it was in the right spot. So it should be like over here. Okay. I think so anyway. In order for it to like actually look correct, is what I'm saying. And it worked out. I'll figure it out. The short answer is basically that I have to sort of, and this is the part about working in 3D that can kind of be a thing I'll tell you about, is that you have to figure out which way the engine treats forward. Either I have it backwards or I don't remember which. I think the way that it works is that Godot treats forward on the z-axis as negative. Yeah, the local direction of forward and the global direction of north. So technically speaking, right, properly speaking, if I really want this to work correctly, I probably should be orienting it like this. But I did it this way because numbers going up makes more sense to me. Which is, so at some point, either I'm going to have to like sit down and reorient the facing of my characters so that negative Z forward is the way that they move when they're trying to move, or I just have to keep accounting for the fact that like this is the way that it works. Got the hopper up, which is what I was hoping for. And that works. And that's exactly the way that I wanted it to work. So yeah, like the hoppers hop. And that's kind of just the way that they work. They're not meant to be very threatening necessarily. They just happen to cover a fair swath of like vertical ground. And that's sort of the way that they're meant to do that. So here, actually, what I probably want to do is double time 1.5. We're going to do this. The wait time that we're going to just do this. Over here, instead of wait time 3, we're going to do half wait time. Because actually, get rid of that. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I should multiply it against back because if it's those two, yeah. Oh. All right. So it looks like the thing I was planning actually is going to work out after all. And initially, I was like, I don't think you can go over there. And then somebody told me, actually, here's how you can go over there. So okay, cool. That works great. That's excellent. So now, just because it's a little awkward to actually like walk through a checkpoint, here's where we start. And this is the cool thing about 3D games. If you're careful, right, with a little bit of trickery, if you're a little careful, right, just a little, right, let's maybe move this away from where we're standing by like 3 units, right? Watch this now. And this is what I like about 3D games, right? So before we were walking through, right? All I literally did was move the checkpoint back by about like 3 units, and bam, right? It's nice and it's clean and it works, right? The trick to this is that the reason why this works is if you actually look at the checkpoint's trigger volume, and I should probably adjust this anyway just to be safe, right? So the collision shape for the checkpoint, if we look at the actual shape, right, its X size is at least 3 meters out, while its Z size is like 3 meters forward, right? So probably if we wanted to be safe, right, we would do like 10 or so, really. And the reason why we would want to do that is because now if we look at the actual, if we look at it over in Godot, right, 3 is still relatively safe insofar as like whether or not it can like collide with it by doing 10, for example. And this is sort of the way that like the dialogue triggers work as well. I've set them up so that the camera's perspective, right? So if the camera is like this, right, and my middle finger that you can't see here is representing the depth of the camera, by expanding the X out to 10, I've made it so that it extends like 5 units in front of and behind the player. So even if, for whatever reason, right, the player happens to be this far in front of it, right, we still make contact. But by moving the actual physical object back a little bit, you're now in a situation where like you can actually pass in front of the checkpoint And we're not like when we stand in front of it, we're standing in front of it and not like on top of it, like a really weird, right? And that's great. That is exactly the way that I want that to behave. And I'm more than happy with that. I am extremely happy with that. So now one last thing I can do. We're gonna make one last enemy type here. Okay, fives are too big. Let's see here. Yeah, like maybe a nice little two. Yeah, that should do nicely. Hitbox area is, we're gonna switch this to a box. 5 2 5. That was working pretty nicely anyway. And then the actual push box shape 5 2 5. Okay, right. So here is the deal. So this spy cloud that I made, right? This funny looking Taurus looking nerd here. The spy cloud itself very simply has what I will define as a set of movement paths, right? And there's a specific thing that Godot that like I'm gonna look at some of the tutorials in Godot later because there's a method that they use to do this in the here's how you make your first game thing that would be useful for this. But the idea for the spy cloud is that it basically patrols between 2 points, right? And if the player steps into the general range of what it can sense, right, then the spy cloud shoots out a the spy cloud will shoot a projectile that trails you for a little while. So it's kind of like Koro's projectile. Um, it's kind of like Koro's projectile, except that it targets the player instead. Okay. So the spy cloud is basically going to move between a set of fixed points in like a patrol pattern sort of deal, right? So for those purposes, I could, for example, do. I'm just going to do this for organization purposes. Do I have? Hold up. Wait a minute. Does Godot already have a? Hold up. Does Godot just straight up have a node for? Godot straight up just has a node for following paths. Okay, that's pretty sick, actually. Um, okay. Don't make it a child of the patrolling entity, or it will do that. Okay. Or the path will move along with the player, right? That's not the thing that we want, is it? Okay. Unless, hold on. If I did that, and then I go to the transform, and I put it on like a top level. Okay. This is this is good because it saves me the effort of having to do it myself. Um, because I can just do this, right? Um, or the part that becomes tricky, more or less, is that well, I think I should still be able to adjust this programmatically, and I can add extra points by default. The hard part mostly is just going to be that I need to make sure that okay, because this is where we start getting interesting now. Obviously, I'm going to have to make a child node. We're going to have to do node. We're going to call it this state machine. Call another child node. Do this one. We're going to do states. Then we're going to do this one, and we're going to just do node again. And we're going to call this spy cloud state. Spy cloud state control. And now over here in the scripts, I'm gonna make another new folder for the spy cloud states. And then very simply here, we're just gonna do create new script, spy cloud state control. It's a node. Come here, do this, put this over here, put this on here. Enemy state base. Bam. Okay, cool. Spy Cloud just has a regular ass enemy script on it. Fall speed is 0. Motion mode is floating. That's the thing this is. It's just it is just a floating at it's just a thing that floats. Path 3D. I probably should put this under the patrol so that it can like follow that accordingly. Alright, cool. Here path 3D target path face dot ready target path equals get node path 3D path, I think is what it's called, right? Path 3D. Right. Cool. So we got all that. Now the only thing you need to do is figure out how to make this move along it. Let's go look at this one. I don't want the video though, because that's going to annoy me. Okay, that. Okay, get path 2 is a thing that exists. Okay. Um,
This is a series of Godot game engine videos
hold
where
on.
you take a single
I gotta
node
turn off
type
the
from the engine and show how it's used. Maybe it's a node that you've never come across.
Ariel, please. Hold on. I know we're getting a double echo here. Sorry, my computer's being weird for a second. Okay. I hate video tutorials. I just wish people would just write the thing. Video tutorials annoy me so much. Okay. Okay. I see. I see. I see. Okay. So the proper way of doing this is to have the path and the path follow be separate objects, and then have the spy cloud, like the path 3D has a defined path. And we have the path follow, and then the actual, and then for the spy cloud itself. So I get it now, basically. Um, what we basically want, what they're trying to say, that I didn't understand that the only thing the video was useful for. Well, not the only thing. I'm lying. But the main point is that, for example, right? So path 3D, add child node, follow 3D. Now, what we really want to do here, right, is under this path, also hi Shark. We're about to head out in a minute, but basically to explain the basic idea behind how this is supposed to work, now that I've gotten to go look at it and I sort of understand. So this is the one time the pivot to video part was helpful. Grumble. Basically speaking, this is the pattern they want you to follow. Right? This is basically the pattern that they want you to follow. The idea here is that you have the path itself, right? You set the points on the path. I get back to vector can't be parallel to each other. Okay, yeah, I just need this. Thank you. Path follow 3D dot. None. Just don't rotate. Okay. Clear that up. Okay. So basically speaking, right? Um, okay, y'all can't see this because I've had this up the whole time. Sorry. Basically speaking, this is the way that it's supposed to work, right? By adjusting basically by adjusting the this is the way that it works. I have a path 3D node and I set the specific points, right? I then add in a path follow 3D node and it creates this thing where I can now control the progress ratio, and that is what causes the object to move. And then the spy cloud itself is basically a child of those two things. That's pretty much the way that it works. That's it. That's more or less how that works. So it's like, bam, cool. Bim, boop, bibbity, bop. Okay. So basically speaking, right? So public void. So public override update state target path dot. Well, yeah, there we go. This should do it. Okay, this is either going to go great or it's going to go terribly. Um, all right, this is like the last thing we're going to do before we get out of here. But yeah, hang on. You're going to get angry, aren't you? Because I forgot to assign something. Did I forget to assign? I forgot to assign. I know exactly what I forgot to assign. Over here is state machine. Spy cloud. I forgot to assign this. There we go. That should work much better. Probably I have an easy, dirty way to do. Well, I probably have an easy way to like actually make it so that the player and the enemy can both auto grab their own state references, but like that's work, and I'll do that after this is done. Okay, so this is either worked terribly or it didn't work at all. Time to find out. All right. All right. Thought we had. Oh wait. Did I remember did I remember to set up the state machine? No, I didn't remember to set up the state machine. That's why it doesn't work, doofus. I was like, it doesn't work. I meant like it doesn't work. Oh no, because I literally didn't make a state machine. The short answer is basically I forgot to like actually make a state machine for the spy cloud. So it was like, why is the car not starting? I didn't put the key in the ignition, basically, in so many words. Yeah, there we go. So the only thing is that I need to get it like loop now, basically. Which I think I know how to do. If I go back over to the patrol path here and I add another element where it's 0, 0, 0, and then I have it close the curve, I think that should do it. I think either this worked tremendously or it worked terribly, and I don't know which. Yeah, there it is. Easy as pie. So basically speaking, what happens now is that what basically happens now is that all I really need to do if I want to make sure that this works really well is float, move speed. We're going to call this, we're just going to say this like 5F instead, right? And now all I need to do is this, right? For context, when I had to try to like set this up in Core Plus using Unity, there's a whole thing where I had to basically like I had to set up gizmos to make visualizing it easier, blah blah blah, XYZ. Here, literally the only thing I need to do is like, and now it's even as easy as I could literally save this branch as a scene and do scenes, entities, enemies, spy cloud on patrol path, right? And quite literally, right, if I ever need to go grab another spy cloud, right, literally the only thing I need to do now is that rather than like grabbing the spy cloud and configuring that, I can just go grab the patrol path one, drop it off in here, adjust the points, done deal. Don't have to think about it anymore. Don't give a shit. It works and it's fine. And I'm done thinking about it. Makes my life much easier, right? So yeah, that's the reason number 7,000 why I'm like out here praising Godot so much is that basically speaking, right, for all intents and purposes, right, I've now made a thing that ping pongs back and forth. If I have moving platforms that I want to work with, go down a moving go down, like I can literally make a thing with a moving platform where I can just literally right now, if I felt like it, go make a scene that's based on a path 3D, path follow 3D, put the floating platform there, bam, 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 done. You don't have to worry about it. Only thing is that like the spy cloud is immortal because I haven't like go change the health configuration yet, but I can go do that right now. Come to the spy cloud, come to the hurt box area, come to the health node. No, you're not immortal, right? No, don't debug this, but you're an enemy, and that's fine, right? Spy cloud, I can come up here, max health. Sure, I leave that at like 3, right? But yeah, bam, done deal. So yeah, Godot, even though it was made for 2D first, there are a lot of ways in which, I'm going to put it like this. Godot, in a lot of aspects, feels like an engine that the developers are considering as like an engine. You feel me? So like a lot of the decisions that they make are generally in service to like, Godot is a game engine. And so it will, be a game engine, right? So a lot of the decisions that it makes are in service to that, which means that they're also very determined to like make certain things just easier for you, make your life super simple. Cool, great. Now I can literally go make a moving platform in like 5 minutes. This is actually kind of absurd, and I'm okay with that. Change type, right? Path 3D. Add child node. Path follow 3D. Add child node. Static body. Right? Static body 3D. Add child node. Mesh instance 3D. Add child node. Collision shape 3D. Come over here. Do a box shape, right? Mesh instance. Box mesh. Mesh. 0.5, right? 2, 2, or 3, whatever, right? 0.25. Collision shape 3D. Box shape 3.25. Bam. Made the floating platform like this already, right? Then all I really have to do is like come over to, for example, the players, and over here on this main thing, I know there's a thing of moving platform. Where is it? Player configuration, moving platform, right? Right? I literally only have to do. I just have to make sure that that's set for all of them, and then I can probably figure out some other stuff. But like, over here, same deal, right? Floor is here, wall is here. Blah 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 blah. Right? And now, when it comes to moving platform stuff, right? If I really wanted to, I could set another thing that's like I could set a different layer that's like moving platform, right? But I might have messed that up. I may regret that later, but we'll figure that out. At any rate, I've got moving. I've like now it's as easy as if I were to come over to this thing that's unsaved, come over here, entities, go up one, moving platform, right? Save that. Come over here to the test level, grab the moving platform, throw it over here into terrain because that's what it counts as. Drop it, pull it up here, pull it up here. That's really small for a moving platform, isn't it? Anyway, I could sit down and like mess with that later. I'm gonna sit down and mess with it later just to make sure I understand how this stuff works. But we're gonna save everything. We need to leave because ads are gonna come up in like another 12 minutes. Thanks to Shark, I already know exactly where we're going. We're gonna go hang out with the President Noir. He, Pleasantly Twisted, and J Rock are all basically playing Balatro as part of Unnecessarily Black Knight, by which I mean, of course, it's absolutely necessary. So we're gonna go hang out with Pez. If I can get commercials real quick. Big thank you. Yeah, so it's J Rock, Pleasantly Twisted, Ocadrian, and Noir all doing like a Balatro tournament. Keeping it quick. Game analysis, design articles over at my Media Cities blog. Has an RSS feed. Please go follow. Stream VODs are going to be up at YouTube. Going to organize out the SMT Nocturne things into a playlist very soon. Ko-Fi. Want to support me in the stream but don't want to give money to Amazon and Jeff Bezos? Go there. Do it there. That's the important part. Throne, you can help do gifts via words are difficult for me. Yeah. You can do stream gifts. We're going over to the President Noir. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. That's where you said that's where we're going. Yeah, like yeah. I was about to say, like yes. That's the thing I said. That's the thing I said at the top of the stream. We're going over to Noir because, like I said, like it's him, PT, J Rock. Sorry, Capture being a dick. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Right, my spiel, I forgot. Throne, anonymous gift gifting. If you want to like do that with me, I appreciate Alright, has my other social media links, but I'm mostly active on Blue Sky. Gilded. If you don't mind making a Roblox account that you use for nothing ever, you can join us on Gilded. Especially because Discord has been sneaking in more ridiculous AI bullshit. I'm not here for it. So where I'm not fucking with that. I'm not doing that. So if you want to hang out with Gilded instead, you can do that. It's not mandatory. I know some people like don't want new accounts to do stuff, but like Gilded, at least right now, is not doing any like weird AI bullshit. So I prefer that right now. Munity is the game dev studio that I helped co-found. You can join our Patreon for free or paid. You can check out more info about us at unity.games. That's community without the COM. And then if you want to play Shoot Lancer, which is our first game, has a demo out on our Twitch page. That's pretty much it. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, don't go outside if you don't have to, be a censor. They're not bigots, racists, sexists, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, reproductive rights, Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, and Caledonia must all be free. None of us are free until we're all free. That's kind of just the way that it is. We're gonna go hang out with Prez. Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time is going to be probably maybe Street Fighter, probably King of Fighters 15. I haven't decided yet because I was like, but what if I try to master rank with Mai in Street Fighter 6? And now that's an itch I can't get out of my brain. So we might be working on the master rank climb with her in Street Fighter 6. Don't know. Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, mystery game. We're gonna use Sunday as like a nice, like a break in between Nocturne and the next game that I have planned. I have to figure out what the next game is. So Sunday's a break day where we play something else, and then by next Sunday, I'll have something else figured out. Anyway, thank y'all. Deeply appreciate it. Let's go hang out with you guys. I'll catch y'all later. Stay safe. Deuces.